Return of the Jedi really sucks. This movie is just so easy to like. So I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. So I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. Yeah, 7 seems good. This movie isn't the worst Star Wars movie ever. The prequels are still worse, but this one is definitely very low on the totem pole. 6 out of 10. I don't like Return of the Jedi. 6 out of 10. Very disappointing.
You seriously can't make this stuff up. Hello there, everyone. So this is a video about a YouTuber you have probably heard of named Cosmonaut Variety Hour, who at this point in time has 1.3 million subscribers. I'm going to be talking about a horrendously bad video he made called Return of the Jedi, Why It Sucks. And good lord, this video is an absolute mess. Like, it's really bad. Almost none of his criticisms are valid at all, and he makes the most mind-numbingly stupid points. And yes, I'm aware this video is 5 years old, but I don't care. So I was also going to make a video about his god-awful prequel video, but, you know, I decided not to because a YouTuber named Anomaly Inc. already made a couple videos about it. So go check it out. They're actually really good. He absolutely destroys Cosmonaut. Link in the description below. Just one more thing. I'll give credit where credit is due. He praises the movie a couple times, and I do agree with all of his praises. So I'll be leaving those parts out because it's completely unnecessary to have in my video. So yeah, with all that out of the way, let's just watch this awful video.
Return of the Jedi really sucks. And that's coming from me, a huge fucking Star Wars fan. Okay, I love Star Wars books, games, movies, shows. It doesn't matter. I just like Star Wars a lot. You guys already probably know that because my last few videos and streams have just been Star Wars. So don't start cracking your knuckles and typing about how I'm not a real fan because I have problems with this movie.
Hey, guess what? You're a fake fucking fan.
The shit I don't like. First and foremost, the performances in this movie are kind of all over the place. They're either really good or super awkward.
That's one.
General, count me in. No. Luke, run away. Far away. If he can feel your presence, then leave this place.
Okay. I'll admit that the first clip was a bit awkward. They probably should have done a retake, if I'm being honest. But how is anything wrong with the second one at all? I don't see your point here. The performance in it is fine. Definitely better than a lot of the performances in the sequel trilogy. Looking at you, Ray.
The characters just don't feel like they did in the last two movies. This is acceptable in the case of Luke, but that's because he's changed a lot, and Mark Hamill is obviously doing a much better job than the other guys. Han and Leia act different for no real reason. Oh wait, no, I know the reason. It's because of the director. The guy who directed Jedi probably just let Hamill, Ford, and Fisher just take the reins on their performances. You know, guys, you've been doing this for 2 movies already. Just do whatever you want. At least that's how it feels. I don't know. That's just a guess.
This isn't Richard Marquand's fault at all. He's the director, by the way, if you didn't know that. Anyways, Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher are the ones at fault here. They were busy partying with the Rolling Stones and coming to work still drunk sometimes. There's only like a handful of scenes that are awkward. It's not even that bad if you think about it. They have some really good performances in a lot of the scenes. Like, a lot. And Cosmonaut's the one to talk about bad performances. He's the one who thinks Donald Glover's Lando is good. No. Let that sink in. Also, he likes Rey. Daisy Ridley is trash. Rey has about as much charm and charisma as a fucking rock.
It feels especially apparent in the case of Harrison Ford. What I'm trying to say is Han is really boring in this movie. He's boring as balls.
No, he's not at all. Sure, he's not as good as he was in the first two, but he's still enjoyable to watch nonetheless.
Probably because at this point, Harrison Ford really wanted Han to be killed off, which would have been much more narratively moving. Han is the best part of the first 2 movies. He's cool, he's funny, he's sarcastic. Everybody loves Han Solo because of these first 2 movies. Here, he's just a bumbling, boring idiot.
Can't speak for everyone, moron. In fact, the reason why I like Han Solo is because of all 3 of those movies, not just the first 2. And this most likely goes for a lot of other people, too.
He feels like a character on Friends, not the gunslinging hero that we once knew him as.
All right? Right.
He feels like a guy who doesn't want to do anything exciting. He begs Lando to fly the Falcon in the final battle. He hasn't been in the Falcon in a long-ass time. Why wouldn't he want to do it himself?
What the fuck are you talking about? Did you even watch the movie? They literally told Han to lead the strike team on the ground. What the hell do you think he's gonna do? Say, nah, bitch, find someone else to do it. I don't wanna. Also, the reason why he gives the Falcon to Lando is because, as he says, it's the fastest ship in the fleet. They need the Falcon, and since Lando was the previous owner, he knows how to fly it and take care of it. And even then, Han is still a bit hesitant.
Also, why is he so chummy with Lando? Because the last time we saw him, Lando left him to fucking die. He betrayed him. Why is this plotline completely dropped? Luke, Chewie, and Leia learned to forgive Lando, but Han didn't get that chance. He's been in fucking cryostasis.
I'm gonna have to give him some points here. That is a really valid criticism. Han has no reason to trust Lando at all. He should be very skeptical and questioning Lando and maybe trying to find out what his true motives are. Honestly, it wouldn't shock me if Han thought Lando was an Imperial spy because, Han absolutely despised him.
You fixed us all real good, didn't you? My friend. I've done all I can. I'm sorry I couldn't do better, but I got my own problems.
Yeah. You're a real hero.
Chewie, give me the gun!
Don't move, Lando!
Oh, wait, I thought you were blind!
It's all right. Trust me. Don't move.
A little higher! Just a little higher!
I can totally get behind Han learning to forgive Lando, but it would have been nice to have seen some scenes with Lando having to earn Han's trust back. Maybe somewhere like in the opening act, like maybe Lando could have saved Han's life while they were fighting the sand skiffs, which would then later on lead to Han letting Lando borrow the Falcon. All of his criticisms from here on out, by the way, are terrible, so just know that.
His personality overall just feels softer and more subdued for some weird, unexplainable reason.
Oh, really? You don't say! The reason why Han is like that is because he went through character development. The same thing you literally just praised Luke Skywalker for a couple minutes ago.
Luke has never been more of a bona fide badass in this movie. We can really see how Luke has evolved as a Jedi and as a character in general. Luke force chokes the Gamoran guards as his first on-screen act. From his first few lines, you can see how much more wise and powerful he is. It's evident that a lot of time has passed between the last movie and now.
Han went from a selfish smuggler who only cares about himself to the rebellion war hero who cares greatly for his friends that he grew to love and who are basically his family at this point. That's why Han is a bit softer. Han is still Han, though, at the end of the day. He's got some pretty snarky scenes, which is consistent with his character. You even point out a snarky scene of his that you like.
He still has like 1 or 2 funny lines. No, he has like 1.
I used to live here,
You're gonna die here, Convenient.
But most of the time, he's just along for the ride instead of actually calling the shots. I don't know. Maybe he's just like really tired.
Han has more funny scenes than just that.
Proper.
It's against my programming to impersonate a deity.
Why, you? My mistake. It's an old friend of mine. Hey! I think I got it. I got it!
That's not even all of them, but I'm not going to load this video with clips, so moving on. He still calls a lot of the shots. He's commanding the entire ground force, for fuck's sake. Also, the reason why he listens to the strategies of others is because, again, character development. At first, he didn't trust anyone and just wanted to do his own thing. But now he trusts his friends with his life, and he knows how to work with them in a group effort.
I kind of feel tired. Because this movie's so boring! This movie puts me to fucking sleep. It is so boring. The previous movies weren't big, dumb action movies.
And this one is how exactly?
but the pace was kept up with exciting and intense moments. The first movie starts with a chase scene. The princess gets caught by the bad guys, she sends messengers on an escape pod to meet with a young boy and a wizard. Then they have some close encounters before they hire some shady scoundrels to get them off the planet. And then it just gets more and more exciting from there. In Empire Strikes Back, you have the main hero being attacked by fucking Bigfoot in the snow, gets caught in a snowstorm, and then he gets rescued by his friend, but right afterwards, the bad guys attack their base with a full frontal assault that our heroes barely escape. The main character is sent to a mysterious world to learn ancient magic, and the other characters are on a cat and mouse chase through the galaxy for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, the pacing in Return of the Jedi isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Literally, A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back are the only two Star Wars movies with perfect pacing. Yes, I just said that. Fight me, bitch. Also, the pacing in Return of the Jedi is better than any of the pacing in this trash. And minus The Rise of Skywalker, he thinks all these movies are better than Return of the Jedi. He gives them the same score. Think about that for a second. He thinks Return of the Jedi is on the same level of this cinematic abortion.
Nothing in Return of the Jedi really feels that urgent.
Oh, that's bull fucking shit, and you know it. You literally contradict yourself later on in this same fucking video. And you can bet your goddamn ass I'm gonna bring this back up when it comes up.
Han doesn't need to be rescued right away. He can technically just hang out there for a little while. He's not going anywhere.
They are trying to save the galaxy? You'd think they want to save the second most skilled member of the Rebel Alliance, only behind Luke Skywalker himself. You know, the Jedi Knight. So yeah, they kind of do need Han. He gives them a better chance of winning. Also, he's a great leader. As Leia has said before...
Yes, you're a great help to us. You're a natural leader.
The Empire isn't really making any big moves to snuff out the rebellion, even though in the last movie they were. It's called The Empire Strikes Back. Why did they stop striking?
What? They didn't stop striking at all. The rebels can't even settle on a planet. Their base is on a fucking ship. Also, the title crawl says this. When completed, this ultimate weapon will spell certain doom for the small band of rebels struggling to restore freedom to the galaxy. Seems to me like the Empire's still striking.
Palpatine explicitly tells Vader not to attack the rebels in this film. I guess he'd rather host cocktail parties with these spooky friends of his.
I told you to remain on the command ship.
A small rebel force has penetrated the shield and landed on Endor.
Yes, I know.
What the fuck happened? Did everybody get bored? Did Palpatine just get bored of fighting this war? These clowns don't even seem to care anymore.
Really, dumbass? Please, for the love of God, watch the movie. Palpatine made it quite clear that the rebels are walking into a trap on the ground and in space.
Your friends up there on the Sanctuary Moon are walking into a trap, as is your rebel fleet. It was I who allowed the Alliance to know the location of the shield generator. It is quite safe from your pitiful little band. An entire legion of my best troops awaits them. Oh, I'm afraid the deflector shield will be quite operational when your friends arrive.
Even they start to get a bit suspicious, like, alright, it shouldn't be this easy. What the hell is going on?
Only the fighters are attacking. I wonder what those Star Destroyers are waiting for.
Like, yeah, it's implied that Palpatine can predict whatever's going to happen, but then again, he seems to be bluffing for a lot of it, or just making really good educated guesses, based on obvious information. Plus, if he's so good at seeing the future, how come he didn't see this coming? Maybe he was just really tired that day.
Okay, first off, don't you fucking dare trash that absolutely perfect scene. Second, there's plenty of reasons why he wasn't able to predict Vader coming. First off, the future is always in motion and can be changed by the actions of the characters, as stated in Empire Strikes Back by Yoda.
Always in motion is the future. If you leave now, help them you could, but
You will destroy all for which they have fought and suffered.
Second, Palpatine was so focused on making Luke suffer, he wasn't even thinking about Vader. So here's an example. So you know when you're working and like you're really focused and not paying attention to anything going on in the background, like you hear stuff but you're not thinking anything of it. It's just all background noise and shit like that. Well, that's Palpatine at that moment. He also screams right after he got picked up because he wasn't expecting it at all. He was so shocked, no pun intended. He was still shooting lightning while falling. Third, as Luke said, Palpatine's overconfidence is his weakness, which is completely true.
Your overconfidence is your weakness.
Palpatine thinks that Vader is his and will never turn on him.
You, like your father, are now mine.
He may sense the conflict within, but he still thinks Vader will stay loyal to him no matter what. He is so certain that everything will go as planned. The rebellion will be crushed and Luke will be his new apprentice. And it is this overconfidence that will lead to his undoing, leading to his death. Doesn't mean he's an idiot. There's a huge difference. Imagine being in control of the entire galaxy for 23 plus years. Nobody's dared to try to stop you except a small band of freedom fighters with minimal ships, weapons, and soldiers. That would make anyone overconfident as fuck. In his eyes, nothing can or will stop him, and he will always win.
I'm tired too. I'm so sleepy. Now, my biggest issues that I have with this movie happen in the very first act. Han's rescue at Jabba's palace.
Okay, I just want to say, this opening act gets way too much flack. And I know I'm going to sound really crazy right here, but if you really think about this plan, it's not as far-fetched as one would originally think. Don't worry, I'll explain it when it comes up.
Here's the problem I have with this whole opening arc. Other than it being really, really unexciting for some reason.
Oh, fuck off.
Luke's plan is so convoluted and it relies on way too much stuff happening. His plan had absolutely no right actually working. Now, if you guys don't remember, here's exactly what happens. First, he sends R2-D2 and C-3PO to Jabba with a recording of him asking for an opportunity to bargain for Han's life. As an offer of goodwill, he apparently is giving R2-D2 and C-3PO to Jabba. Jabba decides, no, fuck that, and he keeps the droids anyway. Luke then sends Leia, disguised as a bounty hunter, to turn in Chewbacca as a bounty. Then she threatens him with this bomb so that he gives her more money for the bounty. Why? I don't know. I'll get to this later. Anyway, then she stays overnight so that she can thaw Han out of the carbonite, but then she gets captured herself. So now everyone in Luke's crew is captured. So Luke goes to the palace himself, steals a gun, and tries to shoot Jabba in the fucking face.
So Luke's plan is secretly genius. Let me explain. So Luke sends C-3PO and R2-D2 for two reasons. First is he wants Jabba to know that he comes in peace. He has no intention of harming him, so he's going to gift him these two droids. And the second, more important reason is that he has his lightsaber stored in R2 just in case if things get out of hand. Then Luke sends Leia to dress up as a bounty hunter and bring in Chewie because Jabba has a bounty on his head, so then Leia can stay the night and free Han while everyone is sleeping and escape. Of course, things don't go as planned, and Leia and Han get captured. Also, Lando is in disguise as a palace guard. So, that being said, would it really be that much of a stretch to say he was feeding Luke and the gang intel so they know what to do and come up with a plan? And I bet if everything went according to plan, Lando would free Chewie and then escape with R2 and 3PO with Leia. And I bet Lando told Luke that Leia was captured, so that's when Luke decides to come in. He follows in Obi-Wan's footsteps and tries to negotiate with Jabba, but that doesn't work. So he tries to mind trick Jabba, but that also doesn't work either. So he follows in his father's footsteps this time and takes a more aggressive approach. He threatens Jabba, but none of this is working. So then Luke is like, alright, fuck this. And he tries to fucking murder Jabba, which is really funny, might I add. Or this, which is the more likely thing, he was bluffing. He'd be like, alright, listen up, fuckers. Bring me my friends or Jabba gets it. And yes, I'm aware he shot the blaster, but that's also when Jabba hit the button to open the trap door. Rewatch the scene. He shoots while he's falling. He could have accidentally pulled the trigger because he was shocked about the trap door, and to top it off, the guard was trying to take the gun. I really don't think Luke's original intentions were to kill Jabba. You might ask, why a gun? Why not his lightsaber? Well, here's the reason. It's because R2 is nowhere to be found, and he has Luke's lightsaber. So a blaster is Luke's best bet. But then you may be asking, hey, wait a minute. Why does R2 have Luke's lightsaber? Why can't Luke just have the lightsaber with him? Well, that's a great question. So here's why. Luke doesn't want to be seen with his lightsaber, because then everyone in the palace would be like, what the fuck? No, you can't have that with you. Get the fuck out of here, bitch. Jabba wouldn't let that slide. He knows all about the Jedi. And speaking of the Jedi, since Luke is one, he'd want to avoid confrontation as much as possible and fight as a last resort, because that is the Jedi way. So he's going to try to negotiate with Jabba first. And if he has his lightsaber with him, the negotiations wouldn't be possible, because they'd see him as a massive threat. And if they take it away from him, he might not be able to get it back, because what if they put it out of reach? So that's why it's sword and R2 for when chaos ensues. It's the most logical thing to do in that situation if you want to go about it the Jedi way. Okay, sorry that took so long. Back to the video.
Then he falls down a trapdoor, fights a meatball monster. I'm not even going to talk about this because the Rancor fight is actually the only exciting thing that happens in the sequence, so we're just going to leave that alone.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought you said nothing exciting happens in this opening act.
Other than it being really, really unexciting for some reason.
Right.
But now Luke is captured as well, so Jabba decides to kill them all by throwing them into the Sarlacc pit. Alright, so first of all, why did he give C-3PO to Jabba too? C-3PO doesn't even know the plan. Why wouldn't he at least tell him the plan if he's supposed to be a part of it? Wouldn't it risk your plan going horribly wrong by not telling one of your friends about it? I guess people would be upset if C-3PO wasn't there. Sure, whatever.
You wanna know why he didn't tell C-3PO? It's because 3PO is a big fucking mouth, that's why. And if they force the info out of the droid, you know damn well 3PO would be the first one to crack. He's the one who's anxious as fuck. The only logical thing to do would be go for him first. The reason why R2 knows is because of the lightsaber. And 3PO's shocked reaction really sells it, because then Jabba will be like, oh shit, maybe this is a gift.
It should also be noted that 3PO is fitted with the restraining bolt, which means that if Luke let him in on the plan and needed him to do something really important, he wouldn't have been able to. Restraining bolts make it so that droids can't disobey orders. Yeah, you can check the facts on Wikipedia, or you could just watch A New Hope, where they're used for the first time. Also, what if they put a bolt on R2? Then I guess he wouldn't have been able to give you your fucking lightsaber. Wait a minute. Why don't they put a bolt on R2? They explicitly don't do it, for no reason.
They don't put it on him because he's gonna be a waiter on the sail barge. Like you said, just rewatch A New Hope. The droids can still move. There's a remote control that stops the droids. There's no need to waste a restraining bolt on him. How could he possibly escape from the sail barge? The fuck is he gonna do? Jump off the edge and kill himself? He's an astromech droid. They don't care if they lose him. Astromechs are everywhere. Just go massacre some Jawas, and I'm sure you'll find an astromech lying around somewhere.
There's nothing you could have done, Luke.
Almost any droid can be a servant droid, but what is very valuable is a protocol droid. Jabba needs a translator, so they wouldn't want to lose him. That's why he has the restraining bolt on C-3PO. Also, 3PO is fluent in over 6 million forms of communication. Do you know how useful that would be for a crime lord who has thousands of bounty hunters coming in for work?
Secondly, what was Leia's plan with the thermal detonator? Jabba isn't stupid. They say multiple times that he is a very cunning individual. Mind tricks don't even work on the guy. So what if he was like, okay, just use the fucking grenade, you idiot. You'll kill everybody, and then you're not gonna get paid, you fucking moron. It's not like the detonator is even used again in the movie. It's not like a Chekhov's gun or anything. It's just forgotten about. The grenade's gone. Don't worry about it.
It's almost like Jabba caught her saving Han and took all of her gear, weapons included too, which should go without being said, But we gotta remember, Cosmonaut is a complete dumbass. And also, Jabba gave us the best fan service of all time. So, yeah.
Why does she even need more money from Jabba? This serves no purpose. I don't understand why this is here.
It's not about the money, you fucking idiot. Luke told Leia to dress up as a bounty hunter and sell Chewie to Jabba the Hutt so she can stay overnight, like I said, and free Han Solo while everyone is sleeping. Wouldn't it be awfully suspicious if a bounty hunter didn't ask you for money while giving you a bounty that they worked hard to get? It's also a bounty hunter's main source of income. She wanted to make it look as convincing as possible, hence why she wanted more money than Jabba said. This is all done to trick him. That's why she has a thermal detonator, because that's something a bounty hunter would do. They'd pull some scummy shit like that. And hey, it even earned Jabba's respect.
Thirdly, does this whole plan hinge on the idea that these events will happen exactly in the sequence that they occur? Can Luke see the fucking future?
No, it doesn't rely on that. And no, he can't see the future. He's a Jedi Knight. He knows what he's doing. And also, these fuckers had an entire year of planning. So yeah, it makes sense.
The way that Luke is nodding at everybody in this scene, it makes me think that this is exactly what he wanted to happen. How the fuck could he have known that Jabba would capture them all, keep them alive, drive them out to the desert with all of his friends on the sand skiff, and feed them to a giant monster in the sand? Who the fuck can predict all of that? You must be really good at chess, Luke.
Okay. That chess joke was pretty funny. But still, he didn't know that would happen, you fucking dumbass. I bet Luke said to the gang, if we all get captured, then you know what to do, and I'll give you my signal. So he nods at everyone and gives a salute to R2. Why do you think Luke would give a salute to R2-D2? It's almost like that it's a signal to give him his lightsaber. Also why he shoots out the saber right after Luke gives him the salute. And there's something called improvising. That's exactly what they're all doing here. This wasn't part of the plan.
Like, what if Jabba just killed them in a way that doesn't allow you to have an open brawl with everybody? What if he just tortured them or disintegrated them? Because we've seen that he's fully capable of doing both of those things.
Look at this scene. Jabba is pissed off about the Rain Corps dying from Luke. That's one of his main sources of entertainment. It's also essential for him to have for the disobedient people at his palace. And he's still pissed about Han dropping that cargo costing him all that money and never paying him back. He wants them to suffer. And yes, I understand they will suffer if they're tortured, but you want to know what's more painful than anything Jabba has in his palace?
Doesn't sound so bad.
In his belly, you will find a new definition of pain and suffering as you are slowly digested over 1,000 years.
Second thought, let's pass on that, huh?
Come on, I can't think of anything else more torturous than that. You are being slowly and painfully digested for over 1,000 years, and the toxins in the Sarlacc keep you alive for all that time. The only thing you can fucking do is think. Imagine that. Only being able to think for over 1,000 years. Not being able to do anything else. Just questioning everything. It would drive the most sane people to absolute insanity. I don't care how painful the stuff in Jabba's palace is. Nothing is worse than the Sarlacc.
What's stopping him from killing everyone before Luke gets there?
Jabba has no reason to kill any single one of them before Luke gets there. He needs C-3PO to be his protocol droid. R2-D2 is his servant droid. Jabba wanted Chewie, literally had a bounty on his head. And we all know why he didn't kill Leia.
What if he decided not to bring R2 on the sand skiff? Then you don't get a lightsaber.
Well, R2 being there was just pure luck. As I said before, this wasn't part of the plan at all. And I'm sure Luke had a backup plan for if R2 wasn't there.
What if somebody died?
That would be very unlikely because, like I said, he has no reason to kill them at all. And also, that's a risk they were all willing to take.
Also, Was Luke's endgame just to start fighting everybody?
No, that wasn't his endgame at all.
He doesn't even go for Jabba himself. What if Leia was incapable of overpowering this hulking monster? You had a lot of faith in your unarmed, naked sister. Leia has proven before that, yeah, she's pretty badass. But what if her fight had been any more difficult? She kills him in a room full of his friends and colleagues, and no one tries to stop her. I mean, I guess she beats him anyway, so whatever. It doesn't matter, I guess.
It's because she turned off the lights, genius! Everyone is screaming and in a panic, so in the chaos, she kills Jabba because it's really dark in there, and everyone is freaking out. So that's why nobody helps him. And I also doubt most of them even are loyal to Jabba. They are either bounty hunters or people he enslaved. Also, you're acting like Luke could just go up there from the start and help Leia with Jabba within seconds. Throughout the entire fight, Luke is trying to make his way to the sail barge where Jabba and Leia are located. There's nothing he can do for her in this situation, so he'll just have to hope for the best.
Here's the thing, if Luke was just planning on a full frontal assault, why not just whip out the fucking lightsaber right from the very beginning in the palace? Like, don't send anybody else in, just fight everybody on your own, because obviously you can handle them all. That was never really a concern of his. Now don't say, oh well, Luke wouldn't do that because it's not the Jedi way. He's murdering these people!
You know damn well he's killing them all in self-defense, which doesn't go against the Jedi way whatsoever. They were about to feed him to a fucking tentacle monster in the sand. And no, Luke's plan was not to have a full frontal assault. Like I said before, that's his last resort for if things go awry. Oh my god, you are so stupid.
Now to top all this shit off, Boba Fett dies like a bitch. Yes, I said he dies because as far as the new canon is concerned, he's dead as fuck. Not only does he get killed by Han on accident, he screams like a wuss and then gets eaten by a horrifying hentai monster that burps cartoonishly afterwards.
How embarrassing.
Boba Fett was never an important character despite what the fanboys say. He was just a background character. He only has 4 lines of dialogue in the entire trilogy. 5 if you count him screaming when he dies.
As you wish. He's no good to me dead. What if he doesn't survive? He's worth a lot to me. Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
That's why he goes out like that. And it's still better than the Boba Fett we got in his show. Should have just stayed dead, to be honest.
In the last movie, there's a really cool scene where Boba gets the jump on Luke. Luke is like sneaking around Cloud City when BAM! Boba Fett out of fucking nowhere. But it's not out of nowhere. In the previous shot, if you look in the background, you can see when Luke unholsters his blaster, Boba hears him and turns his head. He was ready for his ass. He is fully prepared. But none of that coolness is present in this movie.
Yeah, that's really cool. But that's only one scene of coolness. Still doesn't mean he's a good character now, does it?
So that's the first third of the movie. And aside from some cool stuff, it pretty much sucked. So the second arc must be better, right? Yeah, no, it's not better.
Fuck off.
The entire middle portion of this movie is occupied by fucking Ewoks. This subplot is so unimaginably dull. The team spends an entire third of the movie hanging out at Build-A-Bear Workshop.
What? No. They spend an entire third of the movie on Endor. And they spend literally 10 minutes at Build-A-Bear Workshop. Watch the movie. And time it yourself if you don't believe me. If they were truly there for a third of the movie, then they would be spending 40 minutes at Build-A-Bear Workshop, not 10.
If the Ewoks were used significantly less than they were, things really wouldn't be that bad. The encounter where the heroes get captured and almost eaten is actually kind of fun.
Hey, guess what? That scene takes up 4 out of the 10 minutes at Build-A-Bear Workshop. And then another 2 minutes is taken up by the scene where Luke tells Leia that they are siblings. So it's really not all that bad.
But Jesus Christ, this is what we get for the rest of the fucking movie. Luke and the gang spend the night here, eat dinner, fuck around, I mean, weren't you guys sent there to do something important? Don't you all have a job to do?
Yeah, you're right. They do have a job to do. But you want to know something? Ewoks are native to the moon. So why am I saying this? Well, that means they know Endor better than anyone there. So recruiting them would be a huge advantage. Also, it would give them a bigger army. In the movie, the Ewoks help them get to the shield generator without being seen. And no, they aren't fucking around. They're explaining all the shit they went through to the Ewoks. So the Ewoks can be like, oh, God, we don't want the Empire here. They're bad. Get them out. We got to help them. If it wasn't for the Ewoks, the rebels wouldn't have won.
So Luke gets himself captured because even he's sick of the Ewoks. Now you'd expect Luke's reunion with Vader to be an epic affair, because last time they were near each other, they were trying to kill each other. Vader mutilated him. Things got kind of emotional. No! But this is how it happens in this movie.
This is a rebel that surrendered to us. Although he denies it, I believe there may be more of them.
It's so fucking dull.
Vader wasn't trying to kill Luke in Empire Strikes Back. He was testing his abilities. Luke may have wanted to kill him, but then he learned that Darth Vader is his father. So now in this movie, his goal is to redeem Anakin Skywalker. And Vader's goal is to turn his son to the dark side. So why the fuck would either one of them decide to pull out their lightsabers and murder each other? Also, it would be really stupid of Luke to pull out his lightsaber while there's two guys with guns right behind him. How else could this scene possibly play out? Do you want them to scream at each other? Search your feelings, father! You can't do this! I feel the conflict with any let go of your hate!
It's too late for me, son! The Emperor will show you the true nature of the Force! He is your master now!
At that point, it'd be hard for either one of them to get their points across. And how is this dull?
We get some interesting dialogue between Luke and Vader, but it's not really necessary for things to pan out in this way. This stuff could have happened in a much more climactic manner.
But why? Movies don't always need to be climactic to have emotional, impactful scenes, you know.
This is how you run into an ex-girlfriend, not the evil cyborg space wizard that happens to be your dad.
Have you ever ran into an evil cyborg space wizard who just so happens to be your dad? No, I didn't think so.
Now luckily, we're moving into the final act of the movie, and by this time you would think that things might get exciting, right? Well...
Exciting is hardly the word I would choose.
Go fuck yourself.
This final battle is almost good. It takes a little while for Sheev to goad Luke into fighting.
It takes him a long time because Luke has a strong will and he is always determined. It's something that The Last Jedi fails to depict properly, which is a movie that you simp for. You also simp for Luke in that movie, too.
But as a viewer, you can see the battle getting worse and worse for the rebels, and Luke must feel pretty hopeless at this point. He probably thinks that fighting his way out of here is the only option he has left.
Hey, don't think I forgot when you said there's no urgency. Because as you just stated here, there is.
Nothing in Return of the Jedi really feels that urgent. But as a viewer, you can see the battle getting worse and worse for the rebels, and Luke must feel pretty hopeless at this point. He probably thinks that fighting his way out of here is the only option he has left.
Nothing in Return of the Jedi really feels that urgent.
Then there's this really good reveal about the Death Star actually fucking working. This is one of the only good dramatic reveals in the movie. You know what? No, it's the only one.
What other dramatic reveals are there? Oh yeah, that's right. That's the only one.
But the problem with this climax is that there's just too much going on, and not a lot of it is that interesting. Ewoks are fighting stormtroopers, Han and the crew are trying to destroy the shield generator, Lando's leading the assault in space with Admiral Akbar, and Luke is fighting Vader.
Or you're just too fucking stupid to process all this. Probably is too much for you. You said yourself it took you 20 years to finally understand the plot of The Phantom Menace, which is a movie that was made for 12-year-olds.
Let's talk about the actual plot, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have never known the plot of this movie until now. But as far as the plot goes, I am only just now piecing it together after having watched this movie for 20 years. That is not a good sign. But hey, maybe it's just me, right? Maybe I'm the dumbass who just doesn't get it.
Yes, it's you. You're a fucking retard.
But, it's a film for 12-year-olds.
As you can see, we are dealing with a real genius here.
Now, there are only 1.5 of these plot lines that are actually interesting. Luke versus Vader, and the Death Star assault in space. The space battles look really visually impressive, and you feel the stress of the fleet as they get caught in 2 traps.
It's a trap!
Yeah, I know it is. I say 1.5 because the focus should definitely be more on Luke than anything else. This is his movie. It's called Return of the Jedi. Whether that refers to Luke returning or Anakin returning to the light, the action should revolve around these 2 characters. In their last movie, their duel was actually pretty long. They went all over the fucking place. And here it's much shorter because there's just so much other shit that's crammed into the climax.
The fight in Empire is only 52 seconds longer. That's not too bad considering all the other stuff going on. It's the finale for the biggest and most successful film trilogy at that time. Of course it was going to be eventful, and they delivered too.
The fight is good, yeah. And the character stuff that we get for Luke is great. But then we have to look at more dumb shit in between all this. Oh, look, they throw rocks on their heads. They throw rocks and they have little sticks.
Yeah, those sticks definitely look little. Fucking moron.
This is really exciting. It's not exciting. I'm lying. It's not exciting. Now I could keep going on and on, but look, the movie's fucking over.
Lazy ass bitch.
That was it. It was 2 hours and most of it was pretty fucking boring. And yeah, I say it over and over again, but that's the only thing wrong with this movie. It's boring.
That's the only thing wrong with this movie? What about your other criticisms that you spent the past 13 minutes explaining? It's almost like you know that it was all bullshit, and the real reason why you yourself don't like this movie is because you find it boring. So instead of just saying that, you decide to make an entire video filled with complete nonsense with only 1 or 2 valid criticisms. How the fuck do people get away with stuff like this? This dumb fuck lazily puts together a video without any thought and care put into it at all, and pulls over 2 million views, and then you have his moronic fan base defending it and not even taking the time to check how valid his points really are. It's just honestly really stupid. I'm tired of all these YouTubers getting away with this stuff. They can say whatever the fuck they want, no matter how retarded it is, and their fans will still blindly suck their dicks. It is absolutely pathetic, and they need to be stopped. Well, that video was really bad. I just don't understand how he has this many subscribers. He does stupid shit like this. He's a massive hypocrite, and he straight up lies. I might make more videos about this dumbass. I don't know, though. We'll see. But yeah, that's it for me. Peace out, bitches.